Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
We are live on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel, the Miguel and Holly Facebook, and the Hits 961 Facebook page. Welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. And so cool. If you missed the podcast on Friday, we talked to Sophia Carson, actress from Netflix's Purple Hearts, and is a singer, producer, super talented. And like our social media accounts were like blowing up throughout the weekend because all of her stans were retweeting, commenting. I think like the YouTube video of the podcast has like over 3,000 views now.
That's a lot for us.
Yeah. I mean, usually on YouTube videos, we got about like 60, 70.
Sometimes 30. It's whatever.
Right?
Whatever.
1,000.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
just, we're just waiting for it to pop off.
One of these days, I know I keep seeing like little social media websites that I read about trends, and they're always like, you know, you should put your podcast on YouTube and more people will watch and listen. I'm like, we've been doing that for some years now.
Be like, bitch, ain't help nothing.
I put hashtag podcast. What else do I need to do? Oh, but it was really cool to watch. And I think one of the coolest moments is when we had her on, we talked about the Platypus Posse.
Yeah.
And she retweeted our tweet about promoting the podcast and said, Platypus for life.
So cool.
I thought that was so cool. That was so
Very
awesome.
sweet.
A little shout out from a celebrity like that.
Yeah.
Um,
She was so kind.
And then we also because we always ask if you listen on iTunes or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever, to leave a review. And we had a really cool review from Susan S. Love you guys. This podcast gives all the feels. I find myself laughing hysterically with you guys, as well as crying when things get emotional. Love you guys. Heart. So I thought that was really cool. So always leave a review, please.
Do you guys always, or did you have in the past had opportunities to have artists come on the podcast?
Not really.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
Trying to think. No, I mean, because it was like the type of celebrity interviews we've done through the years have gone through phases where when we first got to our previous radio station, we had a lot of people come through like right as they were on the come up, like Alessia Cara,
Right.
Oh,
Shawn
that's true.
Mendes, stuff like that. And then interviews stopped for a little bit.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it was like a slew of people wanting to interview before their concerts, where we had like Ed Sheeran and 21 Pilots. I think
But not on the-
G-Eazy.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I forgot we met G-Eazy.
What's his face? NF. Where it was like it's so interesting how like the type of interviews goes in phases. And then during the pandemic, everyone went to Zoom.
Yeah, and we did
Right.
a bunch of Zoom interviews, including Justin Bieber.
Yeah, and Shawn Mendes at the time too. But it was like everybody was doing it, but it was on their time, on their schedule.
Yeah.
And-
We did Shawn Mendes on Zoom?
We did, yeah, but we didn't see him. He had his camera turned off.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it.
Yeah,
The visual is not like locked in my head. I had totally forgotten about that.
yeah. And so then now, since we've been with iHeartRadio, we have these celebrities that are like coming through. And so our PD, our boss, Daddy AJ, is really good about being like, hey, this person's going to be in town. Do you want to have them on the show or on the podcast? And I'm always like, do the podcast because we can go in depth.
Yeah.
Then we can package it for social media better than just throwing them on for 4 minutes, you know, during the on-air show.
Right.
No one's prepared to chat for 4 minutes exactly and make you compelling. They're just not.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we never really, in all those previous interviews, we never did like a sit down podcast like we did with Sophia Carson.
No.
Like, it's always on, you get 7 minutes or 5,
Mhm.
or you have to go to this specific location
Right.
or whatever. But that was a new one for us, I feel like.
That's cool. That was really fun.
Real quick, Zinda, Francisco, Natalie, Noemi, Think Outside the Cube Bus, Lou Cameron, and Lynette have all checked in on
Hi, guys.
watching live right now.
Mhm.
So that was sort of like the first time I think that you've gotten to see that type of interview style from us, Kelbin. And you worked at another radio station. You worked in Miami. What did you think of the entire experience?
As far as for like the podcast with Sophia Carson?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've only seen the allotted time, like the 10 minutes. Not
Yeah.
even the previous person. You guys know Kimmy.
Mhm.
She is an incredible interview giver. And constantly would go over time, but the conversations were so great that a lot of the record reps just didn't care. So this was just really cool to just have, what was it, like 35 minutes?
Yeah.
It was a
40
long
minutes?
time.
Yeah, and it
Mhm.
was just really cool. It was really laid back. She's very well, like soft spoken, and it just wasn't rushed. I feel like
Mm.
she got a lot off her chest that she's been wanting to say, which is
Yeah.
refreshing as just from an interview person, and I'm sure from her perspective.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to go in depth and to not have to rush because everybody knows the talking points of like
Yeah.
the movie's out, the song's out, here's your writing process. Like, we got it. But like, how did you feel when you first felt like you were successful? What did you buy with your first type of, fame, money? Where's your headspace? How do you deal with social media now? Like, those are the questions that I think about when I see celebrities online. And I'm like, obviously you're still a normal person, but
Mhm.
your circumstances are so abnormal. Like, where's your head at during
Yeah.
that process? It's so fascinating to me how differently they deal with it. And I thought what she said about that quote that if you if you get famous as a kid, like that's when you stop growing. And that
Yeah.
really just like I thought about that a lot this week. And
That
I
was a
thought that
gem.
was such an interesting point.
And I know this wasn't y'all's intention, but it just seems to happen that when you allow them to have enough time to really talk about themselves, their thought process, their creative work, they're able to share much more than you anticipate. Because with the 7 minutes that we get, you don't get any juicy little tidbits
No,
in
Yeah.
7 minutes, which of course is every radio person's not dream, but like it's nice to get those little
Right.
It
viral
is.
moments. But if you have a natural conversation, which really could happen in 30 minutes, they just happen naturally.
Yes, because you're given more time to expand on any answers that you had prepackaged. And you
Yeah.
know that. So, like, if she's got a standard answer for question XYZ, she's going to give the standard answer, but then expound on it. And that's where I think that ad libbing provides the insight.
Mm.
So, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, Kelbin, this weekend you were in Atlanta, my
Mhm.
hometown, for
So
Lady
cool.
Gaga, the
Yes.
chromatic girl. I felt like I saw every gay man I have ever met or interacted with, from Charlotte through Atlanta, through Savannah, through Tampa. I mean, everybody it seemed like was in Atlanta this weekend. How was the experience?
Ugh, it was hot, sweaty, very gay, beautiful, just everything. I love Lady Gaga. This is my 5th time seeing her, and this
Oh.
is
Oh,
the
wow.
first time that I've seen her in a stadium,
Mm.
Oh.
and it was a packed stadium. Like, there was over 40,000 people,
Oh, wow.
there. So, it was really cool. Like, it's I don't know. I may be biased, but it's like I've seen her intimately in the Vegas residency, where it is a smaller theater.
Yeah.
And then I've seen her take on over 40,000 people, and it's the same energy. It's nothing different. She doesn't water it down. She doesn't. And what I did appreciate from this concert was that we got a lot of um her piano moments, but we also got a lot of like the actual track of the songs. Because Holly, I
Mm.
know you went to the Vegas residency, and I know a few of the songs that she did kind of changed the arrangement. And for me, like, I like the original arrangement. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to hear a different version.
I don't want the remix.
Yes, exactly. I know she did Judas, but like a rock version. And I was like, I don't like, I love that song.
Mm.
Like, it's
Yeah, I do
fine the way
too.
it is. With this concert, she did all the songs the way that they are. And then when
Ah.
she had her piano moments, it was for the piano moments. Edge of Glory. She did Born This Way. She did some of the
Mm.
songs from A Star Is Born. Just,
Oh,
it was
nice.
just epic. It was great.
Ah, I loved it. I loved the Vegas residency. It was gorgeous. I
Mhm.
cried. I mean, I was screaming. I actually met someone because I was standing like right by the stage. We had gotten crazy great luck tickets that were very expensive, but whatever. So I was standing really close to the stage, and there was a girl standing next to me, and like we all became this sort of like little Gaga family for that short time.
Yep.
And I still follow the girl on Instagram, and I'll come across her posts, and she's an artist, like a legit, like I think she's Italian, and she jet sets everywhere, and she does this art, and I'll see her stuff every now and then. I'm like, from the Gaga concert. So it's really cool. So it's such a vibe to be there because you just feel like it's like different level. So cool.
Oh my God.
Now, so who did you go with? Because I hung out with your fiance Saturday
Yes, you did.
while you were out of town. Now, who did you go to the show with, Kelbin?
So I went with my old roommate Joe and his girlfriend Sarah. They had a second bedroom for me, thank God. I didn't have to get a hotel. And I stayed with them. We went to the concert together. It was his first time. And then I think it was her like second or third. I can't really remember, but we were all having a good time. This was the first time I've actually like gotten a little tip at a concert. I'm very fine. I'm not like the biggest drinker unless it's like brunch or whatever.
Wait, hold on. Is this what the kids are saying now? Instead of saying tipsy, I got a little tip?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't drink that much, so that's what I say.
I've never heard that saying before.
I'm waiting for you to give us the tip that you got. Did you receive a tip? Like
No, you got tipsy.
A hack tipsy?
No.
This is what we're doing?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. So now we're abbreviating.
It's old as fuck, Kelvin.
I was on a little
It is
tip.
your job to tell us this shit before you just drop it so we don't look like dumbasses.
All right.
She legit asked me if I got a little hack or a little,
Oh,
advice.
I was thinking you got a different tip. I was like, oh.
No.
We are all
Not
confused
that.
about the tip that you received.
Who put the tip in?
Nobody. I put the tip in myself. I tried one of those little can margaritas from Cutwater. # no ad. Delicious. By the time that the last song came on, Hold My Hand, I was like just slurring my words. I was like, yeah.
That's and as it should be. I feel like by that time.
Flamethrowers just all up in my face. Great.
I know when I saw your Insta story Saturday morning, I'm like, you could see like because you had some makeup on at the beginning of the night. And then by the end, it was like sliding down your face.
Oh my God. It was
It's
so
fine.
bad. And if you've seen this TikTok that I posted,
I loved the TikTok.
you see my sweat in the black shirt. 'Cause when the lights came on, you don't see it when the video starts, but then the lights go on. And then you see the whole shirt full of sweat.
Now, how do y'all feel about when you go to those types of performances and you've paid a lot of money to go see them put on these songs that mean so much to you, that are so personal to you? Am I the only person that gets annoyed when the singer goes, "All right, everybody," and they point the microphone towards the crowd
Then
to
the crowd
sing a
sings?
chorus? I fucking hate that. Like that makes me so mad. I'm like, I don't care what Bob and Billy and Sarah have to say about this song. I came to hear you. I want to hear what's coming out of your throat, not the people around me's throat.
I know, but I think there's two reasons why performers do this. And I feel like I'm either having deja vu or I've seen or heard this same rant somewhere. And maybe it was from you, but I don't know.
I've always had a big problem with that.
I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. Like, you're not alone. I don't like it either, but I think performers do it for two reasons. One, I feel like they think that like sharing a moment with your crowd where you're like the performers like, I'm singing, they're singing it back to me, I'm gonna let them take over my chorus and we're just gonna do this. Like, I feel like it's trying to be that like in the moment. That's the one. Number two, I think they're fucking out of breath.
Yes. They need a fucking break.
They need a minute. Like, especially if maybe it gets a little high and they're
Right.
not in that register right now. They're just like, I'm gonna sing and I'm let you sing for a second. I'm just gonna catch my breath while you sing it out. And we're back.
Yay.
That's what
I
Nicki
think
Minaj was doing last night.
Yes, she was.
Oh,
That
was
was
she?
the only part of the VMAs that I saw because we turned it on after I got Maya to bed, turned it on, basically saw like right before her and saw her whole thing. And then she ended and I was like, well, I'm ready for bed.
Done.
But yeah, she was having a hard time with those upper registers. And I'm not like, no shade. Like, girl, I get it. That's
a
why they
lot.
have those background tracks. Like, you can't just go from like spitting all that, like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden go to like, you got my heart, baby.
Yes.
Like, you can't.
Anaconda.
So she was doing that. Oh
I do
my God.
Anaconda on karaoke. It's my go-to. It always does really well. And
Yeah.
I'm spitting. I am, by the end of it, I'm sweating and I'm like, what Gaga does though, she legit just yells at you and she's like, put your fucking paws up. And I'm like,
You're like, yes, ma'am.
My paws up. My paws up.
And then, like,
Paws up,
am I like crooking it enough? Yeah, that's good.
Well, that sounds wonderful. And so, how were you feeling? Because I mean, you left here as soon as we were done with the show and drove down to Atlanta. Like, what time did you get there? And then what time, or to your friend's place? And then what time did you get to the actual stadium?
everybody and their mother is telling me, oh man, that drive, you're gonna hit that traffic.
That
and
Atlanta
it's,
traffic is no joke.
No joke. Listen, people were leaving Atlanta and that traffic was terrible. On my way, it took me about 4 hours and a half. And it really wasn't that bad. And I hate to drive. I hate driving, but I think I was one, delusional, and two, very excited to go. And then on my way back, it was only 3 hours and a half. Granted, it was Saturday. And I really didn't think it was that bad. And I'm from South Florida in Miami, and we would do the drive from Miami to Orlando all the time. And I would hate it. And it's the same thing, 4 hours.
Yeah.
But not as bad.
Oh, that's good. I was worried because when you left here, I was like, you need to get on the road now.
Yeah.
Especially on a
Immediately.
Friday. Anywhere in Atlanta, going, coming, like it is a train wreck. So I was really concerned about you.
I
Just to
arrived at 5:30.
Oh.
Yeah. And still did not hit, like, I think it was maybe 10 minutes of traffic.
Dang, that's good.
Yeah.
And like, how were you? Like, were you able to keep your energy up the entire time? Were you exhausted?
I was exhausted. I had gotten there, and then I think I bought like a diet Red Bull or something, but like 1 hour away because I was starting to doze off. Like I was starting to doze off, and I was like, nope, I am making it to this damn concert.
Oh my
and
gosh.
by the time I got there, we ate, and that's it. You just start getting excited after a while. Like I started putting on my makeup, I started putting like everything, and I was excited.
When you're in it and like you're going to the show, that it's like that adrenaline that carries you through till the end of the show. And then did you crash when you were done? Like, did you just?
No, we went out. I saw somebody from my high school back in like 2011, and she was like, "Are you here?" And I'm like, "Yes, let's go hang out." And then we literally caught up, talked a bunch of crap about everybody in high school and what they're up to and who cheated on who and who cheated on what. Some of the popular guys are apparently a little bisexual, which like totally fit into my fantasies. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good time. I think we got home at like 1 or 2.
Wow.
Yeah, 22 hours awake.
I would have been
That's a long day.
Done.
I know, same.
Holly, how was your birthday kid weekend?
It was great. I mean, everything turned out great. I was exhausted yesterday afternoon, but everything was really good. So Friday we went and did like all this shopping and got all the things that I thought we needed. And then like Saturday morning, I just woke up in a panic because it's in Tampa, St. Pete, we're at the pier. And it was raining Friday evening. And then I looked at the forecast Saturday morning and it's like rain. It's going to rain. I'm like, I don't have a backup plan. So I emailed the parents Friday night and I'm like, hey, I will email you by 8 a.m. if I have to postpone this or if it's going to be on. I don't know. And as it turned out, overcast drizzle because the party is going to be at 10 a.m. at the pier. And like 6 a.m.
Holly, hold on. I need to restart you for just 1 second. You're digitizing.
Optimus
You sound like
Prime.
Optimus Prime right now.
Yes,
Hold on.
mama.
Hold on.
Mm.
Doot.
Beep, boop. Beep,
And all right, try that.
hello.
There we go. All right.
Anyway,
There we
hi,
go.
good. Let me know if it happens again. Because I can't control it. I don't know. And like I'm awake at like 6 a.m. Saturday, and I was like, it looks better, but it was just like touch and go the whole time. So I got there at 9 to stake out my spot, and it was drizzling, like the kind of drizzle that you don't really want to stand outside in. And I was like, shit. So like it was just I was so high stress about this whole thing, and my car's packed with all the stuff. But then it stopped drizzling like right at about 9:45 because I was like, I'm getting the stuff out anyway. And it just went off without a hitch. Like it was just like it just worked, and kids were happy. Although at the last minute, I Googled like a kid's party checklist. And I was like, I think I have everything. At the end of the list, it was like first aid kit. I'm like,
Oh,
I'll bring one. I have one. It's like at the bottom of my cabinet under my sink. It said on the bottom of it, it's not opened. It's never been opened. And on the bottom, it said used by 2013.
oh no! Wow! Wait, so we got an almost 10-year-old expired first aid kit.
100%. But I was like, what's expiring? What?
The Band-Aid.
The ointment.
The Band-Aid. The ointment. Okay. So I brought that shit.
Wait, bringing out this rickety ass first aid kit. And somebody's skin there. It's 10 years past its due
Was
date.
it not rusty?
Band-Aids don't expire. I'm
Girl,
sorry.
you probably can get some sort of infection from that rusty ass Band-Aid.
It's not rusty.
It probably has some damn bacteria growing on it. That's where
Well,
coronavirus started, right there in Holly's kitchen.
In my kit, in my first aid kit. I brought the shit and I needed it 3 times. Thank you very much. So I was like, glad I brought that. So
Let's
it
see.
was
Let's see.
fine.
Wait. Have we checked on the kids that needed the
good?
Band-Aids from it? Do
I'm
we
sure they're
know
fine.
if they are okay? They
They're
might have turned into
fine.
some superhero because of the
Well,
Man.
time will tell. Obviously, we won't know by right now. It probably takes weeks for them to transform into some other thing.
Wait. Hold on.
Oh no.
What?
Can
What?
you use an expired
Yes!
first aid kit?
It's just antiseptic wipes. It does not expire.
Expired Band-Aids.
Let's see. Do first aid kits expire? After they've expired, those products will no longer be sterile.
Right.
They can also dry out, which means they will be
won't
useless
dry out.
for cleaning the wound.
Except they weren't dried out. They were moist.
They were moist.
They were
They were
moist.
moist. I'm also worried.
Wounds were cleaned. I'm not concerned. In fact, I'm actually patting myself on the damn back for bringing the thing.
Do bandages expire? Yes, expired bandages can deteriorate over time and lose their sterility.
That is so stupid. The box was wrapped in plastic that I had to cut off. Where would it have become
First aid
non-sterile?
kit From what year did you buy it?
2013. It said don't use beyond 2013 or whatever it said. I don't even know. So in 2013, I was like,
Oh, I just
whatever.
got a warning on the computer that said destroy it.
Destroy the computer? Or
Destroy your first aid kit from 2013.
I will not. At some point or
Maybe
another,
should.
someone paid good money for that.
Listen, when
Let it
asking
go
how
to
long
waste.
bandages last, the average is roughly 3 to 5 years.
Now then,
You
Well,
tripled that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
all right, we may
I'm
need
sorry. In the apocalypse, like y'all gonna be trying to pay me in like hen eggs for my first aid kit.
in Bitcoin.
So shut your mouth. Otherwise, I won't give you nothing.
to. We're gonna have
Nothing.
to bring that to the air at some point this week. Like, does anyone have a first aid kit older than Holly's from 2013?
I'm really upset though because it said that the sticker that said that was on the plastic wrap, the vacuum sealed plastic wrap around it. So I had to take the plastic wrap off and throw it away. So I can't show it to you. I don't think.
Man,
If it said 2013.
that's really sad because I had some other things I was gonna get you for your birthday this year, Holly. I've been looking at already. I'm gonna have to just get you a new first aid kit for your birthday instead.
Damn
That's what you
it!
get.
I don't want that. That's lame. But I mean, I guess as a mom, I'll just take it.
Oh, well, so
Lame
did any
shit.
parents get like drunk or anything, or were they all like pretty good?
No, everybody was fine. Like I was worried that I was gonna get a little tipsy. No, I really wasn't. But nobody did. Like I got 5 bottles of champagne, which by the way, and I love this is one of my good mom friends. I told her to get the champagne at Costco, and she was like texting me frantically Friday night. She's like, they don't have champagne here. They only have Prosecco. And I'm like,
Ma'am,
is that not champagne? She goes, well, no. I mean, champagne is from France. This is from. I'm like, girl, I know, but it's the same thing, and we are just no. Yes. So buy that, please. And she did. And so I had 5 bottles of Prosecco ready to go because I thought there were going to be like 9 or 10 parents there staying.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't know who wants what.
Mm.
Again, same thing with food. I'd rather overbuy than under.
Mhm.
And we only went through 2 bottles. So now I
Oh.
got 3 bottles at the house.
Oh, hey.
Well.
Holly said, I'm ready, honey.
For my own brunch this weekend,
Yeah,
probably.
you got Labor Day coming up, girl.
Mhm. That's gonna be mama's.
Doe Eyes on YouTube said Holly created mutants over it.
That's how we roll in my house. It's no big deal. It's whatever. So yeah. It's fine.
Holly's X-Men. Holly's
Yes.
Professor Xavier.
I'm Professor X. It's me.
Oh shit.
I'm creating the
shit.
other mutants. I'm gonna form my own army. But yeah. And then we had a sleepover on Saturday night, which I'm always stressed out about because
How many kids were there?
just one.
Oh,
Like
okay.
she was at we went to my boyfriend's grandparents' house and for like the pool usage and all that fun stuff.
Mhm.
And I just get nervous because this is only the second sleepover that Maya's had. And it's same girl, but I was like, what if she gets scared? So like you're on call all night.
Mm.
And then I was talking with my boyfriend about this. I'm like, I had so many instances when I was a kid, like starting in probably 3rd grade or maybe even 2nd, where I would sleep over friends' houses. It's not a slumber party. It's just like, being at a sleepover at your friend's house.
Mhm.
I did this so often. And I don't think it's a coincidence that that's probably around the age when I was when my mom had breast cancer. So
Mm.
I'm sure she was just trying to get me out of the house as often as she could. And I do remember kids sleeping over our house, but not often. So I was like an expert sleeper over and I loved it because my mom was also super strict and I would make me clean all the time. So I was like over their house being like, y'all need me to clean anything? And they're like, no, go play. And I'm like,
Mhm.
living. So, but as a parent now, and by the way, I used to get scared until I got used to that person's house, but in no way, shape, form, or anything ever was a parent back then like, if you're nervous, please let me know. Nobody like laid
Oh,
in
girl,
the room with us
bye.
to like make sure we were
No.
okay. I spent like a half an hour laying in the bed with these girls. Maya falls asleep in 1 minute, but like I knew her friend was very like nervous and scared. So I'm just laying there. I'm like, I hope to God she goes to sleep. Go sleep, girl. Just please go sleep, please.
Oh,
Because
no.
I was so nervous, like I didn't want her to be scared.
Mm.
And then she ended up being scared. And then I was like, this was what my trick, and I'm gonna have to write a children's audiobook.
Benadryl.
She's like
Mm.
crying. She's like, I'm just really scared, Miss Ollie. I'm like, I know. Okay. I was like, okay, close your eyes. Because her eyes were like wide open. I'm like, close your eyes. I was like, we're gonna think about happy things like sunflowers. And maybe there's a little ladybug on the sunflower that has a little baby family. And she's flying to see them. And on her way, she passes a rainbow.
Oh.
We saw 2 rainbows today. Do you remember that? We
Mm.
saw a rainbow, and I wonder if there's really a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow and that leprechaun, because that would be so cool. What would you buy with your pot of gold?
That were kind of so scary though.
I would buy
That leprechaun gonna kill me!
For real.
made of candy. And by the time I got to the house made of candy, homegirl was asleep.
Oh, wow.
But I was like on call all day Saturday. And so by Sunday, I had all day with Maya. We went and saw my mom at the home. And by the time I got home in the afternoon, I'm like, I can't.
Done.
I'm burnt to a crisp from being mom on.
I don't
That was dope.
like my mom would never do that. Like I remember like
Nobody's mother would do that back in the day. Are you
when I
kidding?
was in elementary school, like I was cooking hamburgers and cutting up French fries. My mom was in the room drinking some gin and juice. Like, if y'all need me, I'll be in the room, girl. She was done. There'd be like 5 of us in the living room just having fun, going crazy, oat milk cream pies. I can't imagine if I was like, Mom, one of my friends, Michael, is scared. She'd be like, here's some NyQuil. Have some.
Like, I'm just trying to be, helpful. Like, I don't want to traumatize these kids. So I'm just trying to make it good. And it's just exhausting.
Could
Do
you
you-
do that for me?
Hmm?
Like, what story would you give like
Mm.
me or Miguel in that same,
Oh, good. Okay. So, like, let's say you're scared.
Let me ask some nighttime music.
Is there like a pride parade at the end of the rainbow? Or?
Yes. I'd be like, we're going to think about happy thoughts.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
let's try and imagine
Mhm.
that you are scrolling on your Instagram and you come across that really cute boy that you had a crush on in high school, and he's wearing no shirt, and it's like sort of exciting. So you give that picture a like, and then you realize that you have a message in your DMs, and it's such, you're just feeling so positive about yourself.
Right.
And oh my gosh, it is that guy. And he's sent you a message, and he said how cute he's always thought you were. And the two of you start exchanging messages, and you agree to meet for coffee. And at coffee,
He takes you in the bathroom.
I mean,
you ruined my story.
Sorry, no, keep going, Holly. I'm falling asleep. I love it.
I was gonna say he takes out his penis.
All right, now I don't want to go to bed. I want to go get out my room. I need to do some other stuff.
Either way, you don't need me no more. So
No, you can get out. I'm good. Thanks, Holly.
there you go.
I got the rest to make me go to
Bye.
sleep. Wait, but now I'm stressed a little bit because of Oscar and like, what do I have to tell him? No, I'm just.
Oh, he's there watching the
This
entire
is
time.
just a little fun fantasy. It's fun.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, it was a house made of candy. It's a little fun fantasy. Okay, nobody's like, oh, is it a witch trying to lure you in, little girl? Like, no, it's just trying to get your brain going in a direction so that you can do something else besides stress the fuck out.
Wow. So speaking of, I have a question about fantasies here.
Okay.
Are you still playing that music, or is it just playing for me?
Oh, it's just playing for you. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, he's just playing for you. Everything is off and turned off, and Holly's like, I still hear sleep music.
I'm still sleeping. Oh no, we're not in that. Okay. Go.
Abe, my husband, and I went and saw the movie The Invitation yesterday.
Is that horror?
Scary?
Yeah, it's like a vampire where this girl does like one of those 23andMe type deals, and then she meets this long lost cousin from England who happens to be in New York for business and invites her to this wedding. And she's like, sure, it's all expenses paid. So she goes over and then comes to find out that she is about to be engaged to this vampire. That's the premise of it. So she's given an option, kind of like, you know, this vampire is like 1,000 years old or something like that. And she can, obviously be his wife. She'll live eternally, have riches, and her whole life has changed. And then, obviously, if you can tell from the trailer, she chooses no and tries to fight back. And so the question of the movie is like, does she ultimately become a vampire or not? And then you just find out. So,
but if you have the choice, why is she trying to fight about it? Why can't you just say no?
Well, that's why I say there's not really a choice, but they give you one, quote unquote.
Aha.
So Abe and I, after we were done watching the movie, we were driving home, and I was like, is it weird that if I were this homegirl, I would have been like, all right, cool, I'm about to be a vampire. Like, but she was like, no, I don't want to be. Y'all are monsters. What y'all do to people. And Abe and I were both saying, like, we would have said, yeah, girl, come on. Make me a vampire. Suck on this neck, girl. Come on, what you need? And I was like, because literally the entire time I was like, I don't see what's so bad. He was real hot too, the vampire. And I'm like,
I think you maybe missed the point of the movie.
you get to be with that eternally? Like, girl, I ain't mad about it. Would you choose
anything with vampires? You get so bored, the NUI. Like, you're so bored from living that long.
Yeah, and that's when they start killing people after a while, right?
Yes. Well,
like,
it's
murder.
Well, there's only so many times you can like reinvent your life and like kill people. Like anything that you've ever watched, like Interview with the Vampire or True Blood or what's that other one?
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight. Like they're exhaustively bored because they have nothing to do for all times.
I'm exhausted after 29 years of life, so I can imagine like thousands.
Right? Thousands.
I'm trying to pull up
a
picture of the vampire. Because we were like, girl, I would if he was like, let's get married. Hold on here, let me pull this up here.
Also, like, okay, let's get married. You're just starting your vampire life. What if like 500 years from now, you're like, I don't want to be married to your stank ass no more. Like, out of here. I'm over
nice
this.
Lips.
This is the Inception.
Oh, what? What?
What
That was so
happened? What did I miss?
Oh,
You missed. It was just I don't know if you're old enough for this. Do you remember like on those old Windows 95 computers or whatever,
Mm.
where it would be like the solitaire cards would just
Oh,
bounce
yes.
forward into eternity, or
Mhm.
like it was like a picture of this screen just infinitely going down into the middle. It was a little too much.
Here we go. Here is the actor.
You would
Uh,
pick
Who is
that one.
that?
Yeah.
What's that bitch's name?
his name is Thomas Doherty. He was on Gossip Girl.
Okay.
He plays the vampire.
Wait, is he from Descendants too?
Yes, he was in Descendants as well.
Yes, that was the Hook's
There he
son.
is.
Yeah.
Scary.
He was the
Yes.
vampire in
Oh,
The
Lordy.
Invitation.
Of course he was. Look at that face.
And he dated Dove Cameron.
Dove Cameron, yeah. Apparently it was a
Oh.
very difficult breakup for her.
But him as the vampire, Abe and I were like, girl, bite my neck, honey. I'll live with you forever.
No, he's not gonna treat you nice forever. He's just saying that shit just to bite your neck. Then he's like gonna leave you. Do you see that face? That is not the face of someone who like bites and commits. Okay, don't
but-
think you're getting that D forever.
Oh, no, but he,
my.
like, they had a whole ceremony and everything. I would have been like,
He looks
Ceremonies
evil.
are fake when you're 1,000 years old. You're like,
no, but that's part of the lore of this vampire lore. And with these
Ah.
vampires from The Invitation, they were like, what you've seen in Hollywood is not true. We can actually walk in the sunlight.
oh,
They can live among us. It's very
Really?
fascinating.
I don't know that this is a surprise, but I was super into vampires for a very long time. Like
Oh my.
I was on it. Like I know all the lore, I know all of that stuff. So I was like very into vampires. And it probably
Mm.
started with Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I believe.
That'll do it.
Yes,
That'll
In
do
high
it.
school. I think it was that. And no, actually, it was before that because it might have been around the same time. When I was a freshman in high school, I had not gotten my braces yet. I had a very big gap between my two front teeth and whatever. My mouth was kind of a big old mess. And it wasn't good. Like it was just bad. And there was a junior boy also in the band, and they would make fun of me all the time, and they would call me a vampire. And then one time in French class, one of the other boys that was friend with that band, the band boy, had his little mini disc player in class,
Mhm.
and Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness was very popular at that time. And that one song starts with Billy Corgan going, "The world is a vampire." And he would just play that loop over and over, and me. So I tried to like embrace it to make it
gosh,
not hurt so much. So then I was
Oh
like super
my.
obsessed with vampires. So anyway, that's the end of that story.
Not the trauma.
Poor-
The trauma,
The trauma
turned
for me.
obsession.
Yeah, sorry about that.
no,
But
that's fine.
it got me into Buffy, and then I got into Twilight. I read all the books. Hey, I did not like the movies. I did like reading all the books. I did not like the movies that much. And then, of course, Miguel, you and I got into True Blood.
Yeah, then that changed the game right there and up the vampire lore.
It really did. And I would watch all the movies too. Like I watched Interview with the Vampire, probably way too young.
Oh, and that's
all
going to be a
those
TV
vampire
show
movies.
too. Interview
What?
with the Vampire.
Oh, is it? They're
Mhm.
like retooling it or whatever?
Yep, that was the last thing that
Interesting.
Anne Rice was working on before she passed away. Interview. Let me look this up, and then we got to go.
You didn't tell us about your weekend.
Um,
Well, you told us you saw that movie and
I saw the
had
movie.
a discussion about whether or not you wanted to become an eternal immortal being.
Let's see. Interview with the Vampire. It's going to be. Oh, is it out now? Interview with the
Is
Vampire
it?
TV show, TV series. No. Set to premiere on October 2nd, 2022 on AMC.
Oh,
There you go.
Who got cable?
Right.
get that. And you don't need a cable. You get the app.
The AMC app.
Yeah.
My weekend was good. Friday night, Abe took me to this restaurant, this fancy steakhouse that we had a gift card to. Food was amazing. We had one of those waiters that like they stay around a little bit too long, and I like keep telling stories.
Oh no, you're like
And it,
you're
like,
working
gets-
hard for that tip, but you don't need to work
Yeah.
that hard.
But it like gets uncomfortable, like the way they're just like keep telling a story, and then you're like,
That's because you know what? But that was probably your fault because you were probably super talkative,
no,
making it an open environment, and then he was like, "This one like to talk. He gonna listen to me."
No,
and then you got stuck. So don't do that. Don't paint him.
Like, I don't know why people talk to me. I'm like,
don't paint him.
No,
that was you.
no.
You painted that.
No, I promise you, because I was hungry as fuck. And so when we got there, like I was hungry because I knew we were gonna eat a lot at the steakhouse. And so Abe had a bottle of Prosecco there when we sat down. So I had like a glass or two by the time he came to get our order and our appetizer order. So I was like tipsy and hungry. And so he was like joking and laughing. I'm like, can you put my meatballs in, please? I want a damn meatball, please. Hurry up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, So after that, we just went home because I was like, because I could tell I was tipsy because I was like just talking a mile a minute. And Abe was like, okay, it's your birthday celebration. You got a lot to say today. And I was like,
lot to
and
say.
then let me tell you about this. And he was like, happy birthday.
Well, sometimes you got to get some shit off your chest.
I do. And then Saturday, I hung out with Kelbin's fiance, Oscar. We took him with us to a drag brunch with some friends that were in town. And so we got tipsy again on Prosecco. It was a Prosecco weekend for me.
It was same.
I got tip because they had one of those drag brunches where they like some of those breweries where you can put like a little watch, you pay, you get a little watch and you like tap it and they have like a wall of beers and stuff. Have you been to one of these places before, Holly?
I've never even heard of that. Not only have I not heard of what tip means, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
They had like two of those in St. Pete.
Where?
In downtown St. Pete. Where do you think?
I don't know. Well, for one point, I can't drink beer anymore, so I don't go to breweries. So, but what is it?
So there is a wall of different beers. And so what you do is you give them your card when you get there, and then you get like a little corresponding little wrist watcher thing, electronic thing. And so you go and you tap whichever beer or whatever you want, and it charges you by the ounce. And so you pour it, and so you can get however many, you can try different types, get as much as you want. And so this was where the drag brunch was on Saturday. And so they had Prosecco at the end of the line where you could just go tap your thing and then fill your cup up. And so
delicious.
I hadn't gotten that tipsy at a drag brunch in a long time.
Tips. I mean, no, not tips. Tip.
I on a tip.
I had the tip. The tip had me. Tips were had. It was a good time. So did your fiance Oscar have fun?
Yeah, he said he had a good time. He really connected with Lee, I think. Your friend Lee? Yeah. And hopefully we get those Disney Cruise Line discounts. Like, that's all I heard. Everything else, I was like, So did you get his number? No. But I think he has him on Instagram or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
he works for Disney Cruise Lines. So he's like, that's all I heard, girl. Well, yeah, so that was it. That was our weekend. Then we just saw that vampire movie and decided we would be vampires. So it was good.
Seems legit.
All right, we got to go. Abe needs my help. He's trying to get a cell phone.
Oh. Sorry, Abe.
His cell phone's falling apart.
I know. Were you waiting, Kelbin?
Yeah,
I'm waiting. Soon, isn't it? I'm waiting.
2 weeks.
My shit is deteriorating quickly, but
now he said literally like his screen is separating from the body of the phone, and he was like, I don't even know how it's working right now. So
oh no.
All right, Holly, what's your social media?
Social media is Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Kelbin
at Kelbin Live, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and
OnlyFans.
Anybody?
Are you asking for people to just say yes, get on OnlyFans, or are you just saying like it's coming at some point?
I'm trying to like rally, trying to like market myself, and then if I see the demand, if the DMs are popping, then I'll open.
So if you would like producer Kelbin to get on OnlyFans, send them a DM.
Laura Top Life said me.
Okay. Got the first one.
Laura Top Life said, I want to see it. You better get your ass on that OnlyFans.
What was that thing? It was like, I want to see it. And I can't remember what it was from, but somebody was really wanting to see some naked something. So there it is. I want to see it.
We'll talk about that out there.
I know. I think I know what it was, but
Yes,
it wasn't
yes.
this. But that was really funny, and I don't even care bringing it out. It's funny.
My name is Miguel Fuller. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Follow Miguel and Holly everywhere, please. We appreciate it. Lord Top Life wants to see Kelbin's junk.
Lord Top Life is a little thirsty.
We're talking about dude's junk. I bet.
No, we got it. No, Lord Top Life talking about it on Twitter on Friday because I was like, I don't want to see it. She's like, I want to see it.
She said, let me see that. All right, gotta go. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.